My uncle read Eala, amazing, and I felt like a princess.
On April 20th, 2026, inside the glowing halls of the Sibyl's Palace, the biggest names in global sport gathered for the prestigious Laureus World Sports Awards. It was a night designed for greatness. Champions, legends, icons, all under one roof. And at the center of it all stood Aryna Sabalenka, the undisputed world #1, crowned Sportswoman of the Year after a dominant season that left no room for debate. She walked onto that stage emotional, shaking, overwhelmed, a champion fully aware of the magnitude of her moment. But by the time the lights dimmed and the cameras shifted, something unexpected had happened. Another story had quietly taken over the night. Her name was Alex Eala. No award, no nomination, ranked 44 in the world. Yet somehow, she became one of the most talked about figures of the entire evening. Not because of a trophy, but because of a presence, a moment, a statement that didn't need a microphone. It started with a decision made just days before the event. A phone call across continents. Eala reached out to her uncle, a respected Filipino designer, with a simple but deeply personal request. She wanted to wear a traditional Filipiniana gown on the red carpet. Not a global luxury brand. Not a designer label meant to impress the fashion elite. She wanted to represent where she came from. What followed was a race against time. In less than a week, the gown was designed, crafted, and shipped from Manila to Madrid. A beige chiffon masterpiece paired with a delicate bolero made from pina fabric, one of the most intricate and culturally significant textiles in the Philippines, derived from pineapple fibers and impossible to replicate anywhere else in the world. This wasn't just fashion. This was identity. And when Eala stepped onto that red carpet, she didn't just arrive, she stood out. In a room filled with tailored perfection and global luxury, she carried something no one else did. An entire nation stitched into every thread she wore. The reaction was instant. Within hours, her images spread across social media. But this wasn't just fan hype. This was the tennis world itself stopping to take notice. Top players from across the WTA Tour flooded her comment section. Names that usually dominate headlines themselves. Words like beautiful, stunning, and unreal poured in, not as courtesy, but as genuine recognition. Even major platforms like Tennis Channel didn't focus on the awards first, they highlighted her walk. A standalone feature. A spotlight on someone who wasn't even part of the official winners list. Think about that. At an event meant to celebrate the best athletes in the world, a 20-year-old without a trophy became one of the defining images of the night. And yet, the deeper story runs far beyond the red carpet. Because while the world saw elegance and culture, the numbers told a different, more complicated truth. Officially, Eala is ranked 44th. But in the current season standings, the race that reflects real-time performance, she sits inside the top 10. That gap isn't small. It's massive. It reveals something important. The system hasn't fully caught up to what she's becoming. She's evolving faster than the rankings can measure. Recent results prove it. Strong performances across multiple tournaments. Wins against experienced opponents. A game that is no longer just promising, but threatening. She's no longer trying to belong at this level. She already does. And yet, the challenge in front of her remains brutally real. At the Madrid Open, there are no red carpets. No applause for fashion. No recognition without results. Every round demands proof. Every match strips away narrative and leaves only performance. Her next obstacle? Elise Mertens. A seasoned veteran. A top 20 presence. And perhaps most importantly, the same player who once defeated Eala in dominant fashion, including a crushing 6-0 set that still echoes in their head-to-head history. This is where the story shifts. Because everything that happened at the awards, the gown, the attention, the viral moment, means absolutely nothing once she steps onto the clay. The pina fabric won't win points. The applause won't hold serve. The spotlight won't break Mertens' defense. Only tennis will decide what comes next. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. Eala is standing between two worlds. One where she's already a global figure, admired and recognized beyond rankings. And another where she still has to fight, grind, and prove herself point by point against players who have been doing it longer, harder, and more consistently. That tension is where greatness is built. Because if she wins, if she steps onto that court and rewrites the story against Mertens, then everything changes. The narrative catches up to the numbers. The rankings start to reflect the reality. And the world stops asking if she belongs, and starts asking how far she can go. But if she loses, then the climb continues. The lessons deepen, and the gap between perception and proof remains. Either way, the direction is clear. This isn't a one-night story. This is a trajectory. After Madrid comes Rome. Then French Open in Paris. No points to defend. No pressure from the past. Just opportunity. Pure, open, and waiting to be claimed. And that's what makes this moment feel different. Because the red carpet wasn't the peak. It was the introduction. A signal. A glimpse of what's coming. When Eala later reflected on that night, she didn't talk about fame or attention. She said something simple. She felt like a princess. Not because of the cameras. Not because of the recognition. But because she carried something meaningful onto that stage. Something personal, something cultural, something real. And now, the dress is gone. The lights have faded. The applause has moved on. All that remains is the court. The racket. The opponent. And the next chapter waiting to be written, not in fabric, not in headlines, but in points, games, and moments that no one can take away. Because in the end, the most powerful statement isn't made on a red carpet. It's made when everything else disappears, and only the game is left.